Coming up in this review, I'll check out British Airways World Traveller Plus from London to Miami. I'll take you through the details of the seat and extra legroom, the amenities and entertainment system, and the food and drinks. All to help you decide if BA's Premium Economy is worth the upgrade. My journey started at London Heathrow Terminal 5. I arrived from central London on the Elizabeth line. World Traveller Plus British Airways Premium Economy service had dedicated check-in desks in Zone B. The baggage allowance was 2 checked bags, each weighing up to 23 kilograms or 51 pounds, plus a carry-on bag and a handbag or backpack. From check-in it was a short walk to security. Fast-track security wasn't included in the ticket. From security you went down escalators to duty-free and the main departure lounge. There was a range of high-end boutiques alongside duty-free shopping. My flight was departing from the second satellite, so I headed down to the transit. I waited just a couple of minutes for the transit, which then only took a couple of minutes more to arrive at the sea gates. At the sea gates, there were a few more shops en route to the gate. When I arrived at the gate, the last members of the crew were boarding the plane. It was an Airbus A380-800 aircraft, registration Golf Lima Victor Echo X-Ray. It was 12 years old. Soon boarding started. World Traveller Plus passengers were called forward in boarding group 3, after first and business class passengers. However, my executive club status allowed me to board in Group 1, so I was one of the first onto the aircraft. It was a very long walk down the air bridge. World Traveller Plus was on the upper deck of the aircraft, in the second part of the second cabin. There were 55 seats in a 232 configuration. I was at the rear of the cabin in window seat 67K. The seat had a width of 18.7 inches and could recline up to 8 inches. The pitch between rows was 38 inches. On the seat was a pillow and blanket and a bag containing an amenity kit and headphones. There was some space under the seat in front, although this was reduced by some aircraft kit. However, there was a row of lockers below the windows, providing ample storage. Between the seats was a fixed cocktail table, below which was a controller for the entertainment system and a button to recline the seat. Behind the cocktail table, the armrest flipped up to reveal the tray table. The seat had a moulded headrest which adjusted. The armrest to the window was fixed in place, although those to the aisle could be raised. Overhead was ample storage for luggage. There were also reading lights, but no individual air vents. Below the entertainment screen were 2 USB-A ports. Between the seats at floor level were power sockets. In front of the seat, a footrest folded down. The amenity kit contained socks and an eye mask, a toothbrush and toothpaste, lip balm and a pen. Soon after boarding, sparkling wine, juice or water were offered. And then the menus were handed out for the meal service. We pushed back from the gate ahead of schedule, as BA's British period drama themed safety video was played. We taxied from the terminal directly south to take off on runway 09 right. British Airways has a fleet of 12 Airbus A380s which operate on US routes including Boston, Los Angeles, Miami, San Francisco and Washington DC. The aircraft are due for a refurb in all cabins from early 2026. Whilst we take off, I'd be delighted if you subscribe to my channel. Your support really does make a huge difference. The flight time from London to Miami was scheduled to be 10 hours and 5 minutes, but with today's routing we could expect a shorter journey of 9 hours and 22 minutes. The headphones for the entertainment system were of good quality and comfortable to wear. The system had a 10.6-inch HD screen. The content included 141 movies and 400 television episodes. Wi-Fi was available on the flight. A full flight package cost £18. It provided OK download speeds over 50 megabits per second. Shortly after takeoff, I was offered a hot towel. And then it was time for the drinks service. I opted for a gin and tonic and was served double measures, although the drinks were served in plastic cups. A little later, the main meal was served. On the menu, there was a choice of 3 main courses. The tray table folded out from between the seats. Unfortunately, my first choice of main course was not available, so I was left with the beef cheek. The meal was served in one go on a tray. A linen napkin and metal cutlery were provided. The starter was a beetroot tartare with goat's cheese and whipped goat's curd. The main course was a beef cheek with celeriac and vegetables. The presentation wasn't great, as gravy from the main course had run all over the tray. There was a piece of cheese and some crackers, and dessert was a white chocolate cake. A crushed bread roll sat on the side of the tray. Overall, not the best meal I've been served in premium economy, and very much inferior to my experience on Virgin Atlantic 2 weeks earlier. The meal was accompanied by wine. There was a choice of 2 red and 2 white wines. After the meal had been cleared away, coffee and tea were served. The paper cups didn't help the flight feel very premium. There were 2 bathrooms at the back of the cabin. They were a standard small aircraft size. The tap in one kept running. A changing table folded down from the wall. There was a shaver socket and air vent. Back in the cabin, I settled in to watch a movie, although when the headphone socket got knocked, the headphone sound kept going to mono. The blanket was soft, as was the pillow. In the reclined position, the seat was comfortable. A couple of times during the flight, members of the cabin crew offered juice and water. Chocolates and snacks were also offered, alongside more wine. So how much had the flight cost? This was an Avios redemption. It cost 47,500 points plus £177.50 in taxes and fees. On the entertainment system, I watched The Greatest Showman, only to discover it had sing-along subtitles. I'm not sure how someone singing aloud would have gone down on board. About 90 minutes out from Miami, a light snack was served. There was a choice of chicken or vegetable pastry, alongside juice and tea and coffee. A rather disappointing snack compared to other airlines. Soon we were preparing to land in Miami. We flew down the South Florida coast before turning to land on runway 27. As we came into land, the sun started to set. So what were my overall thoughts on the flight? The Heathrow experience was good, with no real queues at check-in or security. Boarding the aircraft was well organised. The seat was comfortable with ample legroom and plenty of storage space, including window lockers. The entertainment system was good, with a fair choice of content. The headphones were comfortable to wear, although the audio socket was damaged and went into mono when the plug was knocked. The Wi-Fi worked well throughout the flight. The food was disappointing, both in its presentation and the lack of choices. The drink selection was good, with a nice choice of wines. However, the use of plastic cups in a premium cabin was bad. Overall, I thought the flight was fine, especially considering I paid under £180 for it. In reality, I think price would be the only driver to choose World Traveller Plus over other airlines. The larger seat and more checked baggage are useful perks over economy, but for me the product didn't feel worth the extra price. But what do you think? Do you think BA World Traveller Plus is worth the upgrade? Let me know in the comments. If you've enjoyed the review, please give it a thumbs up. And I'd be delighted if you'd subscribe to my channel for future reviews.